So can you hear me, Ale? Okay, I can't hear you. Would you say something for me, please? Oh, wait, you can't hear me? Oh, you can hear me. Okay, maybe I need to push some buttons then. I will push buttons. Let's see. Menu, microphone. I just muted myself. Menu. Okay. Let's see. Room permissions. Let's see. Phone commands, edit profile, audio, video settings. Let's do that. Okay. Microphone.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. I didn't
It's
get a chance to push buttons yet.
okay. I forgot to push. I forgot to turn my mic on.
Oh, okay.
You
Well,
know,
no
like
worries.
I got that roadcaster thing, and then you have to, and you can push the sliders and all that. And I forgot to to do that.
Okay. Well, no worries. So today we're going to be talking about monetization's map for the year ahead, identifying revenue streams, ticket tiers, replay bundles, sponsorships. We're going to assign each event a profit target and supporting offers. So we're going to cover the uh well, all of that I just said. I had another thing that says we're going to cover, but it just says the same thing. So I'm just gonna share my screen, and when I figure out what that button is, I did figure out how to use the widget, but I'm still gonna share my screen. Let's see, entire screen, go there, and then I am gonna hit, oh, and I went back to Gamma. So I am going to push this presentation button. And I went back to Gamma because my I have been using Visme, uh, but what I like about Visme is that it lets me do my own thing. But with Gamma, it just does it for me. And I was tired last night, so that's why I went back to Gamma, and it let me. So hey Donna Kay. So monetization map for the year ahead, your strategic roadmap to identify revenue streams, setting profit targets, and designing high converting offers that transform your 2026 events into predictable revenue engines. And I do remember that everybody doesn't plan out a full year. Most of us are doing quarterly things, but hopefully this will help with that as well. Okay, why monetization matters. Events are powerful revenue drivers, not just visibility. I can't say it now. Visibility plays. Without strategic monetization maps, you're leaving money on the table and relying on guesswork instead of data driven decisions. So, profit first planning, ensuring long term sustainability and creates predictable cash flow. Every event should contribute measurably to your bottom line while delivering exceptional attendee value. Okay, and the question is, when you think about your 2025 events, did they hit the financial goals you hoped for? Did anybody put together a financial goal for their events this 2025?
I wanted to say something funny, but I was gonna
Go
just
ahead.
I was gonna say no. Every event should make $1 million.
I would love that. Uh, yeah, I guess
But
I haven't been thinking high enough.
um let's see. I think, well, you know how I think about events. So I think that, you put out so much in the beginning for an event, and the event itself doesn't typically, for me, because of the products that we're selling, it doesn't typically yield until after the event, because we're like scheduling people at the event, um, qualifying people at the event, uh, all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna make money after the event. So if you count the after event, yes, not the
Okay.
not the event itself. I don't know. I guess we could start trying to make it happen at that point, but
Everything I've read says I'm supposed to do all of that you just said beforehand. And I kind of believe it, but I haven't done it. So I guess I didn't believe it enough. Like Daniel Priestley says, I'm supposed to get people to raise their hand and say, hey, I am interested in that event, and I will show up. And I'm supposed to put them on a waiting list, say, hey, we're going to actually go through with this. Who would you like to be a speaker? What would you like to see? And get them to crowdsource it or whatever. But yeah, I haven't done that. What
yeah,
I've been, go ahead.
yeah, but you're putting your products in somebody else's hands. Like, no, I would never do that. I mean,
Okay.
absolutely not. Like that just no, because if you let somebody else tell you what your product should be, right? Then you are going to end up delivering something that either that you don't fully believe in, or that you can't fully support, or that's just not in your wheelhouse or your value system. No, that's absolutely no. And then you
Okay.
don't know if the people who attend are people who you really want to work with, because you don't know them either.
Yeah. Understood. I have received messages saying that people show up here because they want to see what I'm going to talk about, and they didn't want to have any part of planning it. They just wanted to show up and see what happens. Oh,
I mean, I
hey
think,
Thomas.
hey Thomas, I think that's possible. I mean, that's some people, right? You have some people who come to events to be inspired, or to find out things that they don't know. And when have you ever had a client that you actually know that they knew what they wanted or needed?
Yeah.
Yeah, so no. I'm sorry, Mr. Priestley. I mean, I like some of his stuff, and I like some of his concepts, but I think that you really have to, if you're selling widgets, or you don't really know what your product is, then letting your crowd source your content is crazy, because if they could source the content, then guess what? They could have created it themselves.
But what if they didn't think about it? Remember, I told you I talked to people who has a product, but they don't use it how I use it, or they didn't see it how I saw it, and they're like, "Ooh, something new."
Yeah, but when it was recreated, this that's everything. I mean, look, people use diapers for, oh, say tampons to stop bleeding, right? So it was never. I'm talking about wounds, like you got shot.
Hmm.
I mean, so they're just, there's everything has a multi-purpose. So you can't, if the creator doesn't see the way you see it being used, then that's on them.
Yeah. Well, let's ask Donna Kay and Thomas. Your 2025 events. Did you put a price on it? And was it what you thought it would be? No. Okay.
Put a price on, as far as pricing it out.
You
Yeah.
got the wrong mic on,
Let's
How do
see.
you know he has the wrong mic on?
because the mic that's picking up is not the mic up front that he's
Oh,
talking into.
okay.
How about that?
Yeah,
Oh,
much
that's a lot
better.
better.
Okay.
There's that beautiful
Sorry.
voice we love to hear.
I don't know what you mean by the price you,
Okay, well, we're talking about why monetization matters, and the actual
right.
question was, when you think about your 2025 events, did they hit the financial goals you hoped for? So, I'm also asking, did you set a monetization goal for your 2025 events?
I'm starting to do some most of my stuff is free stuff because for the consulting, feed into the consulting. So it's more like lead magnet stuff. Um, but I'm moving more towards the, you know, charging for the training, um, so I can't really answer that too much, although I have some expectations on what those prices will be because I've done a bunch of research on what other, training people are charging, and kind of seeing, what the market will bear. Um, and and go from there. So that's kind of how I'm approaching it, I guess.
Understood. Kimberly, you are welcome to answer this question if you'd like. I would say I don't think I put a monetization goal on the events. I I think I promoted the virtual summiteers peer group, and that has a price, but I don't think I anything else. I didn't. I don't think I put a price on it. So, so yeah. Like I have a goal for like the end of the year. Like I want to reach like 120,000. I thought I could do that with the virtual summiteers peer group, but I didn't really do any other events to like move people to the virtual summiteers peer group. I think kind of. Uh, okay, next. Let me push that share button one more time. And but Chrome, not Chrome tab. I want the entire screen. Okay, and that one. So the next one is identifying revenue streams. Smart monetization means layering multiple income sources to maximize profitability without adding complexity. The key is strategic diversification. Core revenue, tiered ticket pricing, VIP upgrades, on demand replays, early bird incentives. So I think I did all of this except for the early bird incentives. Additional income, content bundles. I have those. Strategic sponsorships, partner collaborations. We did that. Premium add ons, long tail revenue, evergreen products have those, membership conversions, coaching pathways, certification programs. Which of these revenue streams have you already tried and which excites you to test in 2026? Anybody?
Next year we're gonna be doing oh, you gotta leave it up because I gotta tell
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
don't ask me why I do everything backwards, but the certification programs we're gonna be offering next year. Um I don't want to okay, so membership conversions,
Mm-hmm.
we're working on those. I don't know if evergreen products count as like landing pages with um so
Your books, wouldn't your books count?
as evergreen, I
Yeah.
guess. I was thinking like webinars or whatever, but okay.
Yeah, those two. Are
I
they accessible on your YouTube channel or the event platform?
yeah, I mean, yeah, well, um yeah, I'm just trying to like think it through, like if it makes like what category would this all this stuff fit into. But so kind of like so let's say most of these things we're in the process of, and I feel like I think that I'm like our brand I'm turning is gonna just become this uh event central situation. Um
Okay.
which I don't know. It's so interesting. So I'll tell y'all about what I created. I created this media monster. Yes,
Didn't you already have a media? I'm thinking about EK Media.
yes. Well, so EK Media has done all these things, but I feel like we need to evolve that brand because we really haven't been doing anything with it. And we still get a lot of like kits and people reaching out and doing things, but I want to like back that up and turn it more into like a boutique situation. So
Okay.
it's going to become a division of Lux. So we actually going to it's actually gonna be called Lux Media. Um so that I can kind of change like the contracts and the partnerships with all the different brands that help make that possible.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because I want to be able to upgrade the type of things that we do because everybody on our team is award winning at what they do. Top of everybody's at the top of their game. So I feel like we should be able to do um, bigger, more impactful, and financially gaining um, um, productions. So that's where we are with that. But
Okay.
I think, well, anyway, so I'm sure somebody else will talk about this, but I just feel like, these are all things that kind of like happen all the time in different ways. Whether it's because, when you're doing an event doesn't have to be like 50, 100, thousands of people. It could be like 10 people. You got the right 10 people in the room
Mm-hmm.
and all 10 of those people sign up, then that's a win, right?
Yep. I hear you. Hey, Joe. Anybody else wanted to answer that question, or you want me to put it back on the screen? I just came over here to say hey to Joe, and then Joe took himself off camera. But I saw you, uh, Thomas.
Your mic's off.
Yeah.
Get that.
Or
Okay. Sorry. I had muted and I was trying to find the unmute. I'm using YouTube and I'm doing more webinars as funnels for the coaching and mastermind programs and then I got some training that's more a la carte classes and stuff.
mm-hmm.
Although I don't have a lot of confidence that a lot of the individual recorded class things are really the way forward, just with all the AI stuff. People can look things up that they can in class, so it's more the one-on-one that's going to keep the education end of the business going. You
Okay.
can't just throw up a recorded class anymore, and so i'm
Mhm.
i'm, I'm going to have them there, but I'm really thinking that the coaching and the masterminds is really where that revenue possibilities are.
Yeah. I see that working out really well for you. Every time I do catch your show, like I hadn't heard of Iron or Acrefoot before. You talked about it on your show, and I feel like I need a certification because I've learned something new. But did you see that YouTube is offering courses? So there's a tab you can say you got courses.
I didn't see that part, but the problem is with YouTube is it's easy to do free stuff, but to I'll have to look at that and see if there's any gateway to monetize that. I mean, that would be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, I'm sure it could be a part if you have the memberships in YouTube, that those two things could work together. I haven't tried it. I just saw that it was there, so I was asking.
Yeah, you could use it as part of it, but I really think the way forward, when you're competing against all the AI stuff that just keeps getting better all the time,
Hmm.
is you got to have the one-to-one interaction is what people are going to pay for down the road. Doing a recorded class just isn't working anymore.
And I think that
Understood.
you are also looking for more human connection because so much is fake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Ugh.
there's a lot, and no more three eyes and six fingers. You can tell the AI.
I've
It's
heard
got a
that
pretty
Thor
darn
has
good.
gotten a lot better.
I mean, some of that stuff you just can't even tell. It's just
Hmm.
Oh yeah,
so,
it's been amazing.
or you got to look really hard to tell that it's AI. So I imagine in another year you just won't even be able to tell. And if
Yeah.
I'm an actor in Hollywood, I'm worried.
Oh, I mean,
Put
they
it
make
that
Well,
way.
Disney has those contracts that said they can use your name, image, and likeness throughout perpetuity, throughout
Yeah.
the known universe and perpetuity. So that's
Okay.
why.
Yeah. So I'd be a little worried if I was, a film star pulling in millions of dollars per picture where, you can crank out an AI
Yeah.
so
no
there
set,
you go.
nothing.
It's changing things, and you gotta be aware of that, what the dynamics are. So it's not just, this stuff we're talking about here, but it's the dynamics of of how what people are willing to buy in the age of AI. You know,
Well, let's talk about that. What have you bought from
yeah,
AI?
that
Oh,
there's Joe's comment there. Yeah,
I'm sorry. I can't really see the comments. Uh, Joe, tell me what you said because I don't know where it is right now.
He said that's why he took his signature course and turned it into an academy membership with group sessions, workshops, and something else, work and a community, etc.
Oh,
I also
okay.
think that you shouldn't put your information out anymore because what happens is because I did it by accident. I didn't know. I was in the process of doing something and I had, got a phone call and then when I hung up the phone, you know how the thing you was looking at before like pops up. So I think it was like Facebook or something. And it was an ad for something. And I was like, well, you know what? Let me see if chat knows anything about this particular product and if I should spend some time getting to know it. Why did chat tell me everything about that? Am I frozen?
No.
Okay. So chat told me everything about that product and how it would be, the person had a bad reputation, even though, none of the I was like, wow. I mean, they were like, chat just drugged this woman. Said that her customer service was bad. There were so many reviews about people buying her expensive product and not having any, like the delivery was poor. I was like, wow.
Was it true?
When I went to look at the reviews, yeah, it was a lot of
Dang.
people complaining that but the point is, if it'll do that for that, and if you put chat like how what okay, we were talking about Daniel Priestley. Should we use a Daniel Priestley model, right, in our for our marketing? And it'll just put his whole situation into your brand model if you want.
Hmm.
I was like, wow.
Yeah, I got him to make me a checklist from Daniel's talk with Chris Doe.
See? But you don't even have to do that. You can just say, based on this person's knowledge base, how can would it be beneficial, or how would that look in my, how would that impact my business or whatever, something like that, whatever you want to do.
Oh yeah.
That'll get you
Uh,
about 90% of the way there. You're still going to have to tweak it for yourself but,
mhm.
you
Yeah,
know,
I mean, it
but
depends
it's,
on how you train
you
your
know,
chat, right?
yeah. But,
That is cute.
Donna K brought up a good point is doesn't YT, say they own your content? And I think that's true.
Yeah, that is true.
Who's YT?
Why
YouTube.
YouTube?
Yeah, if you put anything, now I've been telling, sorry, I've been telling y'all this for years. If you put your stuff on somebody else's platform,
Yep.
Mhm.
we would, yeah, so y'all know I beat that to death.
That's why, I put the free stuff there and that's fine, but the stuff you gatekeep, that you're going to make money off of, that doesn't go on platforms like that. That goes on your own platform.
Exactly.
Mm.
And your procedures and stuff, you should definitely not put into chat, because then chat will share that with anybody who asks.
Exactly.
Yeah, because apparently, God, man, let me tell you. So the other day, I got a call from some company in Delaware. I don't even know the company name. They called me and they were like, we want to have you be our keynote speaker. And I was like, okay, uh, you know, why? And so they were like, "Da, da, 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 da," all these different reasons why they wanted me to be their keynote speaker. And I was like, okay. And I'm just like trying to figure out like how they knew all this about all the different things, right? So the person who told them about me told them to Google me. They put me in chat, y'all. Chat be telling all your business. Okay.
Why are you surprised? I put you in chat.
I don't know. But I mean, it was surprising to me because they just tell all your business. Like, you know,
Your
and they went
your
now.
introductory interview, your master class, your panel. I put all of that in chat to get all of the stuff that I wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah, but I didn't know chat was gonna be. I didn't know. I guess it's just one of those areas that you never just think like, okay, so chat gonna be telling other people about you. Not like that. I mean, not like that. Not like that.
Understood.
I didn't have no idea. Because they were like, we saw this interview, we saw that you did this and this and this and that. I was like, I don't know that. I mean, they went back. Like they were like, they saw like some news article about when I did a different speech and how I had I don't never tell all the stuff. But anyway, so um they ended up talking to somebody who, sorry, that's my boyfriend, scam likely, y'all. We getting married. So so it was okay, so I'm just trying to say like how not, yes, invasive this thing it is. It went back and referenced a speech that I did at a university in somewhere back in the 90s. They called the person who was the uh
Organizer?
I guess of the thing, and she told them that I got a standing ovation and that people were so excited, and all, I was like, wow. I was like, I thought that was dead and gone. I didn't think nobody would ever remember that, except maybe the people that were there. And they were like her saying, like he said that they gave. I didn't remember this because I wasn't. I left the stage. I was done. But he said that they gave me like four standing ovations, and every time somebody come out and talk about me, they were like, I was like, that's crazy. So I learned something about me that I didn't know in that conversation. I was like, that's
Nice.
oh,
Well, you do give great talks. I still remember your speeches on owning your own property, websites, and apps. But
mm.
let me ask Joe. Joe, let me go back to the share screen here and see if you're these. But the question is actually, which of these revenue streams have you already tried, and which excites you to test in 2026?
Well, I've already trying the starting from the core revenue on-demand replays because that's how I had been structured. Um, Tiered ticket pricing, that too I've done, and VIP upgrades I've done, early bird incentives I've done. The other ones, content bundling, I'm going to be doing a lot more of that kind of thing, and then also breaking them down into individual products. So a lot of those are going to be evergreen products, but I basically turning what I was planning and had been doing into a membership program. But I'm adding coaching to it. I'm adding consulting to it. I've added my um, agency basically to it, and it's all going to be under one umbrella. My podcast is, you know, along with it. So some of that is to make it have more financial value than strictly a typical um, course the way I had intended originally when I was planning. So I'm going to be doing a lot of my courses will continue to be live, but also I will have the availability of pre-recorded courses as well.
Okay. May I ask which one is your favorite? Which one that you're doing right now? The ones you've mentioned. Which one are you gonna put more effort or resources into?
Well, the biggest one is the overall. I'm calling it an academy or a program. It's a membership program, and everything basically falls under its umbrella.
Okay. Very nice. I feel the same way about the virtual summiteers. Donna Kay, do you want to jump in? I know you said your voice isn't all that great. Okay. Well, it's good to see you. Okay. I am going to share some more. And let's
Can
see.
I just say real quick that Joe, man, I am tracking you so hard. You must be in my sleep or something, cause every every time So y'all know how I guess we both are got came on to go high level, but what I decided was that we were going to have like a synergistic thing, and all the pieces were going to flow together, and it's supposed to flow together. I mean, but just kind of like taking that whole um ecosystem and turning it into a cohesive ecosystem that feeds on itself is amazing. And I
That's
was like, no, I was like, you know how somebody will say something and it'll kind of like send you down a rabbit hole.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering where I got this, what was my impetus. And I believe, Joe, that is you. That
Oh,
I'm
that's.
like, I was chilling on my little island world.
Let me tell you something about that rabbit hole. Just being a simple hole is a farce because you get inside that rabbit hole and there's nothing but tunnels that go everywhere.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like a like ant hill, like an ant hill.
Sheesh. Yeah,
And
I
I,
told you we're addicted to rabbit holes around here.
no, but I'm just saying, like, think about like an ant hill. Like, I'm guessing rabbits just have bigger ones, but You know how you see the little hole in the ground and you be like, man, whatever. You put a piece of something right there and like 8,000 ants come out.
Yeah.
And then where they've poured they've done a thing where they've poured the concrete into the ant hill and then dug it out. And then you see like it's like bigger than like your house.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Ah, fun times.
Yeah.
Okay. There it is. Okay. Ticket tiers and strategic upsells. Number one, standard access, core event content, and live participation at accessible prices that drive volume. Number two, VIP experience, premium perks, early access, bonus session, exclusive Q&A, and networking opportunities. Number three, elite packages, ultimate experience with personalized coaching, private sessions, and year-long support. Upsells increase attendees' lifetime value without requiring more event production work. Small, high perceived value additions can dramatically boost profit margins. The question is, what's one small perk you can add that people would happily pay more for?
Doing a live weekend.
Yep. A lot of
That's
stuff.
that's my dream, actually. Having lived in Las Vegas, I lived across from a hotel that's not one of the. I lived across the freeway, which was just behind our neighborhood, from a nice hotel off of the strip. That was just had these great rooms, and I still, even though we moved away from Las Vegas, I still would love to do a mastermind weekend there and have the audience, with me, and have it be something like 10 people or 5 to 10 people or whatever it's got to be, and be able to do basically what I call my accelerator program now. That was my initial signature course. I would like to be able to turn that into do that over the course of a weekend, and have them pay for that. It would be just so awesome.
Why a weekend, may I ask?
Quick, uh, I call it accelerator right now. It would be faster than the accelerator.
Okay.
They could learn what I'm doing in a weekend, and have actual workshop opportunities to learn how to put it into play, and basically take 8 to 10 hours worth of learning, and get to really know me, and they're willing to pay for it. Other people are doing it. They're willing to pay for it, apparently, and and buy a lot more. 10 times what you might be charging typically. And if you can make 10 times what you normally make from something, and you can do it in 3 days or less,
Mhm.
it's a no-brainer.
Give up the
All right.
weekend for that.
Yeah, I might even give up football games for that. Pre-record them and move my weekend into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is what I would really do. But anyway.
All right. So, anybody else? What's one small perk you could add that people would happily pay more for? Thomas?
It all comes down to the interaction, people willing to pay for access to you, the expert, and a one-on-one time is going to be something that people are willing to pay extra for, I think, because they're getting that then, because everybody's, or everybody at least thinks their situation is unique. So if you have that one-to-one interaction, then you are directly working on solving their pain point, their problem, whatever. And people that are going to invest in your program are willing to pay extra for that access. So a certain percentage of them are. Some will take what they've learned and think that's good enough, but some people, if they got a persistent pain point, are willing to pay extra for the access to you to get a personalized solution. So,
That's true. You told
so
me
is
that
that
you didn't
consulting
do.
or training? That where's the line?
Yeah. You told me that you don't do backyard wells, but you did give me your time and talk to me about whole house filters and the kinds you prefer. And I did appreciate that. And I did think that was valuable information.
Oh, I don't remember that conversation, but I might have.
It's okay because I do it. I think that was very valuable. Oh, L, I
Um,
think we go ahead. I was going to read the question again, but go ahead.
you can go ahead so people know.
All right. It is, what's one small perk you could add that people would happily pay more for?
Having the ability to call us and schedule an appointment, um, uh, and like in an urgent way. Like we try, yeah. Like so, and like if you get hurt this week, you can call us this week and we'll get you in right away, versus having to wait on the waiting list.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
people pay extra for that.
Okay. Um, I don't know if you guys know this, but one of the things I like about Elle, our daughter has an autism diagnosis, and she doesn't care for everybody, but she does like Elle, and I like that because I don't care for everybody's energy either. So to know that Maya's okay with Elle touching her, and she's willing to go and hug Elle like voluntarily, that's amazing. So if we ever make it over there to see Elle, to have Elle work on her, we'll know it will be okay because Maya's okay with her energy. Oh, oh
Oh, Maya
yeah.
is so sweet, y'all. She really is.
Maya likes to do what she wants right when she wants it. She wants what she wants right when she wants it. You know, she's very stubborn, and that's how I know we're related. Oh,
Can't lie
see,
about that one, huh?
it's true. You can see it in both my kids. My youngest gets in trouble for it most because he speaks clear, articulated, conversational English, but he's exactly like me, and you can't be exactly like me and in the 5th grade and 10 years old at the same time because everybody don't care for that. You guys are laughing, but it's so true.
He is amazing. He is amazing. That is a one little he you guys he drew me out. Where is it? He drew me this little. He gave me a Valentine one year. I still got it somewhere. They're 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 coming to paint. So my background, all this will be different. They're coming to change all this. So all my stuff is like all moved around. But yeah.
Joe says, L, I put my name in Chat GPT and it gave a summary, but Perplexity gave me a big summary with images and links, etc. Okay, Joe, let me tell you. You go to your LinkedIn, you copy paste your title, you copy paste your about section, you copy paste your services, you give that to chat. Go to your website, give it to chat. Um, and say, would like you to interview this person. Uh, Take all of those same copy paste, give it to Notebook LM. How many of you knew I was going to say Notebook LM? And I love it, but it will give you a podcast about yourself. YouTube videos, if you have people talking about your services like testimonials, you give that to Notebook LM. It's amazing. I did that for L, and L said it was just okay. And I'm going to say that's high praise because L doesn't really care for Notebook, but it's great.
Y'all, Notebook came for me the first time. Okay. And so I was not feeling it. But the one that they did was really good. We're gonna actually use it in on something. So
Yeah. So
but
you guys, you can go into Notebook and just copy paste the URL for your website and give it to Notebook, and it will do a whole bunch of other stuff. But besides the your website, go to your YouTube channels, copy paste all that stuff from LinkedIn because it is great. Okay. The next one, let me find my share button.
I
Entire
really thank Erica
screen.
for that.
It's amazing, Joe. It really is. So I talked to you guys about Thomas had said something about how are you willing to pay for AI? And Thomas, yes, I am. I pay Google for Notebook LM. You know why? They cut me off. They said I've used over 100 notebooks or I've created over 100 notebooks and it's time for me to pay them. And I agreed. I was sad, but I want to continue to use Notebook. That's how much I want it or love it. Okay. So
I even hate to say how many I pay for, but
I think
Yeah.
it's like it asked me for 162, 163, and it told me I had to do a free 2-week trial first. And I'm like, you just told me I've created over 100 notebooks and I can't use no more. You know that I've tried it out. They've got other stuff that I'm trying out now. I'll tell you about Opal after we finish this. So I have no idea what my perk could be. So I've made the bundles. If you guys been in our Hey Summit or the vs.talkvirtual.org, I've made bundles with the stages. The stages have resources. You get the slides, you get the of course Notebook LM podcast, the video overview. I'm trying to talk Ben into converting the Q&A into frequently asked questions and the polls into quizzes. They ain't trying to hear me, but I'm still trying to do it anyway. Um, but I guess maybe I need what are those things called? Lead magnets for those bundles, maybe. That's what I'm thinking. But all roads lead to the Virtual Summiteers peer group. The next one is replays, bundles, and evergreen revenue. Extended revenue windows, on-demand replays, transform one-time events into ongoing income generators. They serve people who couldn't attend live while creating additional value for existing attendees. I believe that. I do use that. I did that this week. Didn't show up live because I went to sleep instead, and I got the replay via email, and I was very happy about that. Strategic bundling, packaging replays with complementary resources, implementation guides, workbook, templates, or mini courses. Bundles increase perceived value and justify premium pricing. You do need to tell people about them. Like I said, I have them, but I only told you guys about them. Evergreen monetization, convert live events into evergreen products that generate revenue long after the original date. This is passive income that scales your business sustainably. So I don't have a question about this, but I do want to know how many of you are already doing this.
Erica does it.
I haven't
think-
met Perone yet. I need to.
I think the evergreen stuff it's what could potentially be impacted by AI.
Okay.
The replays, if people are interested, and they just missed it, if they're interested in what you're doing, then giving them, especially like a limited time replay, I think that's good because they're not getting that personal interaction, but they were originally interested in coming because, you're the one, or they were interested in the topic, or they were interested in what you had to say, so a certain percentage of people are going to watch those replays, especially if it's a limited time type of thing. You don't just have it open forever. You make it available for 2 days or something like that. And, that I think is good, but just the evergreen stuff that's out there, my opinion is that stuff is really going to lose its shine. You're just not going to get much track. You're going to get some, of course, and it's already done. So why not throw it out there? But I wouldn't expect it to be, a decent source of revenue, or even as a lead magnet. Maybe you might be able. It might have some use there, but that's kind of my thoughts looking at some of the trends on that.
I have a little bit of a different twist to that, Thomas, in that if you put them put all your evergreen stuff behind a gated solution, then you also have the ability to allow different price points for the newer stuff, and older stuff can be lower price things, but to get access to it, they'll have to be paying for a membership fee. And then you can, have those like something that maybe you charge $97 for at one time could now be something that's either free, or it could be, at a lower tier level, payment level behind your gated solution. That's the premise behind what I'm doing with my academy, basically. And that's where I'm trying to think about whether I'm going to keep some certain. I have to really make a distinction between what's going to remain free to drive traffic to my source, and the stuff I'm going to keep gated behind it. So that strategically takes a little bit, an additional bit of thinking as to how I want to do that. So, but that's a model that I've heard and seen and realized that these other people who had these solutions that were just paying for them are also now moving to,
Just
and there's
Tom?
not a whole lot of them in what I do. So it's pretty powerful.
Okay. Um, a good while ago, I guess maybe 14 years ago, I gave Robert Kiyosaki about 5,000 to learn real estate. And in that, he showed how to read a GSI, GIS map, whatever.
Survey map, yeah,
Yeah,
geographical survey map, huh?
yes. So Thomas did the same thing about maybe 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I got maybe a little more from Thomas's because, it's a free thing. But if you don't know how to use it, you just don't know how to use it. And it's kind of worthless. But even though Thomas did that talk about maybe 2 years ago, I think he could probably get some money off of it today.
Yeah. And that's the thing, because everybody comes in with a different, it's like we were talking a couple of weeks ago, Erica, and you said how, you went to this webinar expecting all this stuff, and you got there and you thought it was crap because you knew everything that was on it. That's the
I
thing.
was so
Everybody's in a different
sad.
stage. And so you never know what's going to be valuable and what's not. So, like, I look at some of the content I've created, and it might be in my podcast that I put out for free. It might be other places I put out for free. And to me, it might be, that's like learning how to do 1 + 1 is 2. But to other people, it might be super powerful. So, you just don't know. And that's where you have to make a decision as to how much of that you can use to be as a lead magnet to bring you in, and how much is going to be more powerful behind the scenes, and hopefully some of the things I'm thinking is that with some of the stuff that's already available that I'll have in my resource library or whatever, to help bring people up to speed for the conversation. And it'll also allow people who are not financially positioned to be able to do certain things. I don't want to leave them off, but it'll allow them an avenue to kind of get into some of the discussion without necessarily, having to move up to the higher tiers of whatever I have offered. But by the same token, my focus is going to be on a high tier. I learned as a school teacher, because I taught school for so long, that you teach to the top tier. It's one way of doing it. Teach to the top tier of the class and help everybody else catch up. That way you don't stagnate those at the top. Otherwise, you have a classroom where you're teaching to the middle of the class, or you're teaching to the low end, and the high group ends up stagnating. And that's kind of the mentality I've used, and I'm trying to use in the academy I'm pulling together right now. So I hope that kind of makes sense.
It does. From talking with you, I don't know how long I've known you, but my favorite things from talking to you is your analogies on mazes, bikes, and fishing. And I
Thank
think, yeah, those are really great. So I was thinking that maybe they could be like quarterly events.
you.
I know you got more than just those three, but those are the ones I could think of right now.
Mm-hmm.
Those could be like how Doc Williams say your tent events to get them to the bigger thing, like your membership.
Yeah, that's a good point. I appreciate that. You'll send me the
My-
recording of this so I can take that and because the memory ain't what it used to be, but it's all there. It's just too much stuff in there. You know how that is.
Understood. Yep.
Yeah, I had to take that phone call, but you made a good point on having the evergreen stuff behind the gated community, so people are paying. So I was thinking of free stuff mainly. These evergreen webinars that people run that have kind of run their course, but the gate, and the tiered pricing, I thought was, I've seen other people do that, and that's a good concept because, then you got stuff in there that people are can get for free that you had, at one point, and they're feeling like they're getting some value. So,
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I like it. Good points. So,
oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It took me a while to get to that, Thomas. It took me since you were one of my beta testers. It took me that long to get there. But what was the impetus? Is AI this last year and a half or two is what was the impetus to really get me thinking to how I got to get there.
How do we deal with it? It's a real thing. It's how do we deal with it? And
Yep.
it's almost like, it's a tool we use, but it's also a competitor. So,
Yes,
it's kind of how do you how do you get around that?
If you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah.
Hey,
And then,
Zakia.
Hey, Zakia.
We're all trying to
Yes,
become a
but
Zakia nowadays.
we are, yeah.
I got a question. I'm so sorry. I can't get these phones to do nothing right today. I have a question. So what if now? So what if, based on what you both just said, you took like this is like this is your firewall. This is your cutoff. Everything that's out here is just free, right? Like conversations and this and this and that, and then like you pick your level because you guys are like all the way up here, right? Of which you teach and do, right? So then you have like the lower entry level stuff that just kind of like piques the interest and gets somebody started. Because it's like well, Zakia's here, I was going to use her example. So like a basic soap, like just the ability to create saponification. Nothing specific, nothing special. It's like something super duper basic. Like you don't even know like the stuff that you mix together that's gonna make it soap, right? And then you're like, that's the free stuff. And it's like if you want to do better or make more, you want to how to fragrance the soap, how to shape the soap, how to do all that's after, right? So so I was thinking like if there was a model or if you made your like the basic information or the basic steps an opportunity for a person to just get into the world because so Philip is a sound engineer. He's been doing it for 35 years. Every time we go somewhere, we run into some little wannabe starlet and they're or whatever. And they're like, man, can I pick your brain? Can I do this? Can I do that? Can I do this? And I'm like, and he's just like standing there and we gotta stay like forever. We can't even go to the grocery store, right? But okay. So but I was telling him if all he taught was something as simple as how to be in a studio, like what to expect, right? Because people don't know because there's so many lies out there about the studio and there's so much mystique and this and this and that. So just demystify the entry point. That's what I was thinking. That's the point of what I'm trying. You demystify the entry point so that they get some simple wins. So now they're like, oh my God, I can actually do this. And I can pay him so that he can help me get better. What do you think about that?
Eric has been telling me to do that forever, and I can't remember where the beginning is because it's been so long, and I'm struggling to find out or remember where the beginning was. So,
As the gear said, there's no such thing as basic soap.
And that's exactly what I'm describing and exactly how my membership is going. So basically, they're coming to it with a lead magnet, whether the lead magnet's going to be a webinar, or whether it's going to be, whatever else. It could be a checklist or whatever else is going to be, but get them into my base level. So that the process I have mapped out is it's called a value ladder, but in my world it's called a sales ladder, since that's my last name. And so the sales ladder is literally built on, you start them off for free. That's the first step. You move up to the next step. The next step is your basic level, whether it's, it can be a value bump level, which could be like $7 something, or to $27 something, that's built on their initial free offer, just to get them to pull out their wallet. And, and then after that, then you move them up into the membership level. And that's the plateau where they can kind of pick and choose or self-identify where they are fitting in and which courses they need. In my solution, what's going to be happening based on how Zakia helped me really improve my prompting is that they're going to complete a form. That form is going to, using our Go High Level L, it's going to take that form is going to bring them in. It's going to identify and decide which paths are going to be the best for them, and it's going to provide them with suggestions of which materials that I have they should be doing to map out their own um, path inside of it. And then there's going to be more than one version. There'll be the basic low level class, but there's also going to be the higher level class, and then eventually there's going to be the mastermind weekend with me. That's the super fast accelerator that they're going to spend $20,000 for. That's the dream.
Nice. Zakia, is this the minimal viable product they're talking about?
Your mic's not on, baby.
I'm not sure. I talk about a lot of stuff on here. I don't know if my head's going to fit out the window the amount of times you guys said "cause of Kia," but I'm not sure which one you all are talking about. I can share the app that I built, but I don't think Joe, we were talking about improving his prompt so his audience was baked into them. I'm not sure which one L is referring to.
Well, Elle had said something about do something or say something to get people started. And Joe was talking about lead magnets and something like that.
Yeah. I have my soap making starter kit, which is an entry level of, okay, what is the baseline to achieve saponification? What are the supplies, the ingredients, and a basic recipe? It's 4 recipes that are in there, but you don't have to go and spend $1 billion to get started and see success, which then leads them to our first batch live workshop, which is a hands-on pre-recorded walkthrough step-by-step of the guide, but you also can ask questions. And then it's the intermediate soap making class where you learn advanced techniques like using wine, beer, goat milk, all the different things that you can add. So there is a ladder, but the entry is that free soap startup guide.
How did you remember where your beginning was? How did you remember where you first started with soap to come up with a basic kit?
Well, soap making it's pretty simple. It's oil, water, and lye. Makers make it more difficult with these intricate swirls and additives, which you can and should do based on what your customers are asking for. I put myself back in the mindset of when I got started, my biggest frustration point was watching YouTube videos that promised to teach. And ultimately, they were just selling me on the affiliate offer that they had, but not actually teaching. The books that I would buy, I have purchased and read 76 books on soap making. They're about that thick, some of them, with about that much fluff and that much actual applicable information. So with that, that's where the new Soap Makers Cookbook series came from. That's where, okay, what is the ultimate thing I wish I would have had when I got started? And I worked backwards from there. And then what does that look like to scaffold that from that very first time that they meet me to I have got to have you coach me? What does that journey look like? And so luckily being sick has allowed me to really hone in on that and really build that out. So now all of our opt-ins are on the website. Now we're working on all of the nurture sequences that go along with them to kind of hold their hand for you've downloaded it or you took the quiz, because there's our real entry point is actually what's your soap maker style, and that's a quiz that they take to identify should they do cold process, hot process, are they really interested in making lotion or candles, are they doing it for business or a hobby, because then what we're able to do is segment them and be able to really identify what they need, so it's
Okay.
personalized.
All right. That's cool. I got to make a correction. You said being instead of was. I need you to speak in past tense because that's over with. You don't need to.
Well,
We
I'll
don't
be
need
finished
anything
in
come back.
November. I'll be finished with the treatment in November, so then I'll say was. But yeah.
Okay.
So Zakia, I was it's just kind of a funny aside. I was on a call the other day about I don't remember exactly what it was, but they were using some examples and they said, let's pick a really obscure example like teaching a soap making class. That just like totally cracked me up. You know, it's kind of like, hey, I know somebody that does that pretty well.
Yeah.
And it was kind of funny because they launched into this and and all and just kind of it was but they picked it because obviously nobody would ever do that, so it's kind of like so
Yeah.
I was just kind of laughing,
It's really cool.
yeah.
It's a real niche for sure. That is the pure
Yeah,
definition of a niche. Like,
it is a niche, but hey, niches work.
Hey, did anybody notice how Zakia's voice sounds a lot better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
it's coming. It's coming.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say was and keep it in past tense because I want it now, and that's just what I want. Speak it into existence. Sponsorships and strategic partnerships. Identify aligned sponsors. Look for brands whose products or services naturally complement your audience needs. Alignments assures authenticity. Hey, I said it. And value for everyone involved. uh, I had such a hard time saying that. Okay. Leverage partner networks, collaborate with industry partners for shared audience access, and co create content revenue share models, reduce risk while expanding reach, exponential. Yeah. Hopefully, you guys can read it. I can't say that one. Create win win packages, design sponsorship tiers that deliver real visibility and engagement, speaking slots, branded sessions, attendee access, or exclusive product placement. And the question is, who in your network would love to get in front of your event audience? It's crock pot for Zakia. Anybody else? Who in your network would love to get in front of your event audience?
I don't know. I think we're building a new thing right now. I don't know.
Yeah, I was about to say, aren't you talking with folks in the NFL right now? Don't they want to get in front of your audience, or your audience want to get in front of them?
They just want to get in front of me right now.
That's a good thing.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking like, I mean, one of the things that I super love is the whole amplification marketing model. So I believe that instead of it's going to be the opposite way. Like, what brands want to? I guess not exactly the opposite. I don't know. I'm trying to work that out in my head still, because there's brands that want to. Okay, if we use our stories of triumph and recovery, it's something that every brand needs is stories. So we can partner with companies like Under Armour, um, New York Life, all kinds of brands to share those stories sponsored by them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, with the NFLPA, I want to share the stories of the recovery that we work on for them for different organizations, like take AARP for example. You have a retired player that's been having, their life has been impacted by some injury in a crazy way, and so we help them overcome it. And then bam, sponsored by AARP, or AARP is making a difference in the lives of retired players or something like that, right? So that's kind of what I'm thinking. So
Mhm.
because
May I ask,
yeah,
are you looking into the people they already sponsored?
well, see, that's the thing. This chapter is new, and so they don't have sponsors yet. And then so I figure like, so I'm so sorry.
Bless you.
Thank you. I feel like we I'm still like figuring out that journey, so I don't know yet. But I just kind of, you guys always have like such great ideas. I just don't know.
But I was assuming. I know I'm not supposed to assume. That's why I asked if what was it, Under Armour, if you find out who they sponsor, or AARP. They do sponsor stuff. I don't know what it is, but maybe if you did, they would be more inclined to want to collaborate with you, since they've already known that audience that you're talking to. And if that same audience knows AARP or anybody else, they might want to see you too. I'm guessing. I don't really know.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that yet. That's like a Zakia question, really. But I don't know yet. I mean, I'm just trying to figure it out. Or maybe Joe too, but I'm just like I don't know. I mean, that's
Okay.
you know how when you are in the process of thinking something, or trying to work it out so that you understand it, like it, like you've seen it, like I never ever want to do another event where I'm like, we have a bronze, silver, and gold package for our sponsorships. Like, oh my God, I never want to see that again, right? So, what I want to do is create collaborations where it's like, okay, this is what you're supporting or what you're promoting in your brand this year. And the way that we want to tie what we're doing into what you're doing is with our stories. Because I feel like I don't want to do I'm over that whole process. So what I want to be able to say, this is what we have, what how we feel that we can dovetail into what you're doing, instead of just having your logo sit on our website or on the stage or whatever, right? Why why wouldn't you rather have us um have a relationship with you that is going to allow you to be part of all the things that we have going on for an extended period of time, so that we can get you a ROI, right? And we can and do all the things to show what your dollars are doing and how they're getting pregnant and coming back to you, right? That's kind of what that's my thing this year. Well, right, I get from now to whenever is getting money pregnant.
All right.
Does that make
Um,
sense, y'all?
it does.
Okay.
I get it. Who in your network would love to get in front of your event audience? Thomas?
My, well, my competitors.
That's a great one.
Well, that's a true statement.
Yeah. I mean, that's, yeah.
That's a great one.
So,
Like, aren't
but,
you?
but it's really, vendors or, people that sell products and services to, so there's some competition, but there's also, sponsorship opportunities with people that, if I talk about VFDs and somebody that sells, pumps and VFDs and things like that, would be a good person to team with. Somebody that consults on cybersecurity for small water systems. There's because I'm not a cybersecurity expert, so that would be a good cooperation or collaboration. So those are the types of things, so that I look at.
I just knew you were going to say something about the people who own the earth movers, but I got it.
No, I really don't do much of that. So
No.
no, we're well drillers.
Yeah. I just assumed that they would need earth movers to drill for it, but maybe they don't.
Yep,
But learn
yep.
something new today.
Just to
Okay.
drill, sometimes build roads and stuff for, or clear things out, but that's small stuff.
Okay. I'm happy that I learned something new today. Zakia, Joe, who wants to get in front of your target audience?
Mine's pretty easy. I was actually hoping to hear from Donna Kay because I still don't know a whole lot about Donna Kay and what her audience is and all of that sort of thing. But
She can't talk.
No,
got it. Got
Donna
it.
Kay says she's not feeling well, but she looks great and she
Hear
looks
that.
happy.
That's the key.
I don't believe you, Donna Kay.
So the question you put in front of me, Erica, it's pretty easy because it's a lot of I found the community. It took me a while to figure out what I wanted to do and who I wanted to get in front of. I found one of the communities is basically what I would call solopreneurs, service providers who are white collared service providers, if you will, and that's that they're I found there's several communities that are and they're often involved in networking and they're speakers and consultants and things of that nature. But another way to do it, especially if you have a harder time trying to figure out who they are, is use chat to use AI. And Erica, I'm going to learn about Notebook LM because I've been hearing about it. I had my 3 that I use all the time, and so I'm just going to explore where Notebook LM fits into my AI world of 3 platforms.
I love Notebook.
But
It's
yeah,
gonna come for you.
say that again.
It's gonna come for you, so be ready.
Yeah,
Out of all the cool stuff Zakia has told us, that by far is my favorite.
yeah, it's that's one of the hardest things and the biggest deals you want to do is to get to learn how to get in front of your audience and to figure out who your audience is and to figure out because once you find them, you've got to be able to get in there and survey them some way, shape, or form. You need to figure out how to survey them so that you can know what they're looking for, what they need. They're going to have the things that they're great at, but you also want to find what their pain points are, what their problems are. That way, you can find a way into your marketplace where your competitors are not working. And so I've heard it called you need to find the blue ocean inside the bloody waters. You got to be so there's a book on that principle and your competitors are all the sharks and you're all going after the same thing, but you need to find blue ocean where the rest of them competitors aren't and be able to work that if you want. You don't have to, but you can. And where niching down goes out to helping you differentiate yourself from everybody else.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Zakia.
Well, Zakia, I answered for you by saying crock pot, but what's your actual answer?
That is good. I like them. They actually have money and can pay. No, but I think it would probably be those suppliers that are currently spending money on Facebook ads because that's a very broad audience and we have a very targeted audience. So they're already spending the marketing dollars to get in front of them. So targeting them would probably be the next best thing.
Okay, so I'm nosy. How can we find who are already paying for Facebook ads for that target audience? Will Facebook tell you?
Yep.
No, but I'm in
There's-
that. Well, they might. Do they,
There's
Joe?
tools that are related. Facebook has a tool, and there's other. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump over you, Zakia.
No, you're fine.
But from there's tools. There's plenty of tools out there in the paid world. In fact, it's easy in the paid world to find it. All you have to do is have the question that you want to ask, because there's so many tools that'll do it.
Yeah, but I think for me, the way I know is because I'm in their target audience as a soap maker, so I see their ads, right? So that's my way of doing it. And so there's 6 that come to mind almost instantly of who they would be. And I know 2 of them. One of them follows me on Instagram. So they're the
Yep.
the reason I have not started reaching out yet is I have to have that foundation in place. The website is 90% there. I have to do that last 10% for them to be able to get there and see, oh, she's for real. And
Outside
not just
looking in,
asking.
before you made it even cooler, it was already cool. Just saying. Outside looking in, it was cool before you made it even cooler.
But I want them to not quite. Sorry, Milo's doing her thing. As soon as I do this to my hand, she thinks that's playtime. But hey, relax. I want them to come there and instantly see, yes, this person has the audience that we are trying to target. I think they can see that, but I don't think they can see the through line of how they would show up in that messaging. Right now it's all Zakia and live soap school. Now I need to start infusing those sponsors spotlights in terms of tools that we use and equipment that we recommend so they can naturally see it like, oh yeah, she already does this, which I do. I just don't have it spotlighted.
Okay. Seems like you're about to become a billionaire, I'm sorry, next year. So just remember us. You
Remember
too,
us little
Ann.
people.
At some point, I do want to, and I know we're almost out of time, but I would love to have like a look see at what I've built in Google AI Studio. It's my software as a service. The recipe one that you looked at, Erica, I changed my whole mindset on that. What if I took them through their entire life cycle as a maker, from the time they're ordering ingredients all the way up to managing their finances? So I've built that entire thing, and now I just have to put it behind a paywall. And I would love for this group to be able to see it and give me feedback, just even as not a maker, because it can be larger than soap makers. It can be anybody who makes products by hand.
I was talking to Elle about that very thing yesterday.
Oh, well, there you go.
I really was.
Yeah.
So if you guys don't know, Zakia has made this really cool app. What do you call it? An AI app. And
Yeah.
she even made a walkthrough for it. And I thought the walkthrough for the app was also cool. I do want to get through with this.
No,
I
I'm
do.
sorry. No, not now. When they have a chance is what I'm asking.
Okay, I was gonna say if anybody's willing to stay on, I actually do want to know, because Google also came out with Opal with Google, and I want to know if Opal is better than AI Studio,
I'm
because
gonna look right now.
I
All right.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, y'all. I can't stay late. I hate when I can't stay, but we have our staff meetings now on Friday. I mean, y'all, they done suck me into meetings. Meetings. I don't want to do meetings, but every Friday we have a
I'm gonna
team.
have to run too. So
Another
Okay.
day. It doesn't have to be, no, not today. I didn't mean to say, hey, do it now. It was more of a,
Yeah, but
they need
Erica's
some
all
support.
excited about it. We were talking about it yesterday. We both are excited to go down that road with you to see what that's gonna be like. Because I was telling
Erica,
her I quit apps. I don't want to do that. She's like, you can no, no. So sorry, I quit those.
Erica, finish your presentation. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to do that.
No worries. Rabbit holes. I told Joe that we are addicted, but it might just be me.
Mhm.
We are all addicted. That's why we're friends.
Hooray. Okay. It's good to have things in common. Entire screen. So I do have a lot more time today, but if you guys got to go, I understand. Just letting you know. Okay. So the next one, assigning profit targets. Every event needs a clear revenue goal to measure success and inform future strategy. Target Targets create accountability and drive decision making throughout the planning process. 3 times return on investment benchmark. Target at least 3 times return on event production costs for sustainable profitability. 50,000 baseline goal. Set minimum revenue targets aligned with audience size and ticket price. 20% growth target. Aim to increase event revenue by 20% year over year through optimization. Factors to consider: production efforts and overhead costs, current audience size and engagement, your deliverable your delivery capacity and bandwidth, market positioning, and competitor pricing. Use targets to refine, track performance against goals to identify what's working and what needs adjustments. Data driven I can't say it. Iteration. Something is how good events become great money makers. And the question is, if you had to put a number on it, what would be a realistic profit target for your next event? And Joe, weren't we talking about this about 2 days ago?
Seems like it.
Okay, y'all. Who wants to go first? What if you had to put a number on it? What would be a realistic profit target for your next event?
That's right. We were talking about that very specifically, where I asked you. That
Yeah.
goes right down to the process of reverse engineering everything you want to do. If you're going to do something, you got to set up a goal, and initially, whether you got to try to make it as realistic as possible, but you got to start and have a goal. And since I'm not as money driven as some people are, I would have first focused on what is my head count, what do I want for my head count, but knowing that my head count has a value for each individual. So then I would have looked at the numbers. I just know that's the sequence I typically kind of go through. But I don't recall what your question was now, Erica, now that I've opened my mouth, because I'm off into my squirrel moment looking for another rabbit hole.
If you had to put a number on it, what would be a realistic profit target for your next event?
Hmm.
So let's say you got an event coming up. You want to put a price on it. What do you want your total amount to come to? 20,000, 50,000, 120,000 for that one event?
Then that would be a dream.
Well, maybe if we work backwards, how you always tell us, what do you need to do in that one event to come up with 120,000 after taxes? How many people need to show up for that?
Yeah, the mindset I have is a little bit less than that. It's more, how many people am I going to get into the event that I can move up my sales ladder?
Mm.
So rather than trying to go for, because I come in a world, I'm from a world where, especially in the paid advertising world, where you know uh, companies are trying to get people to the bottom line, but they've never done anything to develop the funnel that makes them aware, makes them interested, that grows them and helps them to be able to make a decision and gives them the offers to purchase. Instead, they just come right for the jugular from the get go. Hey, I've never heard of you, but you want me to spend, $5,000 on you right now, and I don't know who you are. So my mindset is shaped a little bit differently than that, in that I'm using events to not be the sales tool. Well, it is the sales tool, but it's the sales tool to a process where I can step them up after they get to know me on the way. And so that's the mindset I approach it from. So again, going back to the dollars, yes, I have a dollar amount that I'm kind of targeting, but I'm usually targeting the number of heads that I can turn around and put into the process. And then I look at what is their overall lifetime value going to be? What percentage of them are going to stay and get to the highest lifetime value? And I run averages for that. So I'm very numerically inclined behind that process. And so I just know the stats because that's the world I've lived in. And so that's the way I think of things. I'm sorry to rain on your parade a little bit, maybe, but that's the mindset that I come in, and that's kind of the corporate mindset that was built into me.
Okay, no worries. I'm a fan of Chris Bayless and what's his name? He just wrote a book about sponsorship magnet, and Doc Williams talked to us about him on the his master class this past first Friday. And they all said what Elle said: no tiers, no gold, bronze, silver packages. And it's all about who your audience is and how much would you pay Facebook to get in front of this audience, because I have this audience right here and you can pay me whatever that would cost you or something like that. So that's all I got on that. So Zakia, the question is, let me go back to it. If you had to put a number on it, what would be a realistic profit target for your next event?
25,000 is the one I want to reach for.
That's your end goal after taxes?
Yes.
Okay. How many tickets? How many people would have to buy those tickets?
25. No. 5,000.
Okay. Would you consider raising the price so we wouldn't have to have 5,000 people?
Yeah.
Okay. I would like 120,000.
Well, maybe 500. Hold on. 25,000 divided by 500. Yeah, 500 people at $50.
Okay, that's not bad at all. You can do that like next year. I'm kind of thinking, didn't you do this before?
I did, but we haven't passed the 100 mark of
Make that the
paid
goal.
registrations. Yeah.
Make that the goal.
For my next event, if I'm using this formula, I have my accelerator course it's 1997. So if I started off with selling 10 of those in a small event, that would be great, and then keep growing the size of the events would be the next step. But I was thinking in terms of my next event and the process that I had in mind. That's where I was kind of thinking of things. But eventually, as I create an audience and as I partner more with people who can bring people into my events, I will probably, I'll be looking at what is the ideal price points for selling for myself, because, I know people who've, done $20,000 things. They sell one of them in the event, and that's great because then they made $20,000. Or do you want to sell, 10 of them at $1,000 each? Or I got to figure out which way is going to be, the most fruitful for me. But I got to put several of them on to be able to tell which way is going to be best for me.
Yeah. I'm not great at math, but I do want 120,000. And for Zakia, I want you to consider, pretty please, asking your sponsors for at least that amount, like the whole thing. If you want 25,000, ask for that from your sponsors, but still get that from your attendees. Just because I think you can get it and people want to hang out with you, and I think they'd be willing to give you that. Joe, would you consider reaching out to Grow with Google to be one of their teachers?
Yeah, I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah. Well, please ask them because I think you would be a great teacher for Google.
Wow, thank you.
Okay.
Grow with
So, go
Google.
ahead. Yeah. Grow with Google.
I have to put that here so I don't forget.
Yeah. Let's see. I want 120,000, but I don't know how many people. I would be happy with 100 people to make up that amount. And I also want sponsors to give me that amount. Um, I want to work with sponsors that I've already worked with, and I figure it wouldn't hurt to ask. So,
Sponsors are a forgotten target for me in the process of running events. And it's funny because when I first learned about them, that was one of the big things it said to make sure you do. And then I've gotten to the world where I've forgotten completely about sponsorship. So I'm glad you're bringing that point up because it's such a, it can help you get off the ground and they can help you do so many different things along the way. So I appreciate you
yeah.
pulling
You
that
can
out.
have in-kind sponsors where they share you with their list and promote for you, promotional partners, promotional sponsors, and the people who give you money who wants to be in front of your audience and they want time on your stage. They want to hand out stuff. Chris Bayless says if they want to hand out stuff, they got to pay for that. Because that's called something, but I can't remember what it is right now. So if Nike comes to you and they want to hand out shoes to your runners, they got to pay for that. So let me hit the share button and go to entire screen. Next. Okay, supporting offers around events. Pre-event offers. Warm up your audience with premium early bird bundles or preparatory minimum mini courses that increase event return on investment and build anticipation. Number two, let's see, can move that out the way or try to move that. I can't move that. Number two, during the event, create urgency with limited time offers, exclusive bonuses, and special price availability only to live attendees. Um, Post-event offers, capitalize on momentum with implementation programs, coaching packages, memberships, or certification pathways that extend the transformation. Events become powerful lead generators for high ticket programs. Supporting offers create long tail monetization and multiplies event values by far beyond the initial ticket price. And our question is, I still can't move this share screen thing out the way. There it goes. Hooray. The question is, what's one offer you already have that could naturally pair with your event?
Mm.
You got something, Joe?
No, I was going to say my event is not going to be up there without having something paired to it before, it's already going to be mapped out. So whatever, each event I have is always going to be laid out like that. So, depending on the event, the next events I have are small, but they're going to be to launch my academy. And so with that will be some of the different offers within the academy so they can get discounted versions of it as founding members or whatever.
Okay. Zakia, what's one offer you already have that could naturally pair with your events?
Leather Lounge, the community.
Oh, nice. Okay. He's not here. He's not here. He
Donna
went
K,
to
I see
Florida.
your question about how do you start with sponsorships.
Yeah.
We missed that.
So when I did the level up, I asked Ben from Hey Summit because I use Hey Summit, and I asked David from But Like a Boss because I knew them. I started out with the people I knew, and I figured it wouldn't hurt to ask. And since I talked to them a lot, I guess they didn't mind, and they did what's it called? They shared me with their audience.
How did that
So
do for you?
I got like maybe 300 people to show up or at least register, but I messed up when I put them on my email newsletter. I'm using Sinfox, and Sinfox said that they no longer wanted to be a part of my newsletter. So I deleted them, but then I saw myself on that list. And I was like, maybe they didn't ask to be removed from my list, because I didn't ask to be removed from my list. So I messed up and I deleted maybe a little over 100 people.
Well,
But yeah,
so the original list, you didn't keep the original list and then work off of it?
the original list is still on Hey Summit, but I don't know if they actually want it to be on or not, because maybe some people did and I just assumed that they did until I saw myself on the removed list.
Take
Why
that
would
list.
they ever put on the remove list though?
I don't know.
One of my colleagues says, take your old list, no matter what they say, put them into a re-primer list, and go and just be the way he does it is very specific. He says, he just basically, it's like very few words. Do you want to get more information like this or not? Period. And gives them a button to turn off. Say, they don't have to say no. They can say delete or no way. Push the button that says no way. Otherwise, they are opting in at that point.
Okay. It's a good idea.
Very big, but that's what I got to do to prime it.
Okay. Very,
The
very
other thing about lists
good
that
idea.
nobody thinks about is, I will always say this: if you have a list like that, never throw it away. Like, I go to a lot of, I've been to a lot of collaborate group events for networking, and you're not allowed to go and put them in your email and reach out to every single person and collaborate. What you are allowed to do is take that list, use it if you're using paid advertising for your event at all, and find and use that for targeting and lookalike audiences. And that's a power of a list like that, is it's not just email them directly, but you have other platforms you can use that list with as well.
Nice. Thanks, Joe.
Sure.
Okay.
So you just ask your sponsors to be sponsors.
Well, I like SaaS tools, and I talk to a lot of people who own SaaS tools. So I figure since we kind of know each other, it wouldn't hurt to ask. So,
Okay, Eric, I'm gonna put you to work to be my sponsor. I mean, to find my sponsors, not to be my sponsor, to find my sponsors.
there's a tool for that. Hexomatic. Yeah,
What is it?
Hexomatic. Let me know, and when you got time, and we'll go through Hexomatic. Zakia, I think we did this maybe 2-3 years ago. We went through Hexomatic.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah,
There's
a
gotta.
whole bunch of tools in 3 years that I missed.
I'm slowing down my AppSumo addiction. So I hadn't bought anything from AppSumo in a while, and I told you I got Notebook LM because they cut me off. That's the only reason why I'm offering them money, because I don't think Google needs it from me, but they cut me off. Let's see the next one. Let's see. And here it is. Push the button. Building your monetization map. Transform strategy into action with these 3-step frameworks. Your monetization map becomes your 2026 revenue blueprint. List your 2026 event map out. Every live event, workshop, summit, or launch your planning. Include dates, themes, and target audience for each. Assign revenue streams for each. Identify which monetization strategy you'll implement. Set specific profit targets based on audience size and efforts required. Add supporting offers, design pre-event primers and post-event programs that create a complete customer journey. Layer offers strategically for maximizing conversion. So, looking at your calendar, which event will be your biggest money maker in 2026? You guys, I think we talked about your flagship or your main event for the year. I forgot what it was called, but Doc called it something. Hopefully, you know what I'm talking about.
Like your
Do
signature.
you?
Signature? Was it
Yes,
signature?
signature event. So I'm assuming that your signature event is your biggest money maker. Is that a true guess? Would you say?
It will be.
Okay. So, uh, do you
Can I
know
ask
what?
a
Go ahead.
question related to that? Because again, I'm literally taking what we're talking about here and getting ready to launch. So this is factoring in. My academy will have a signature course. It's based
Mhm.
off of the signature course. But for those people that aren't able to pay for the signature course, I have the down scale to just joining the membership. Um, do you guys factor in things like that? Or would you factor in things like that into your offer? Because I'm thinking, okay, I make this offer that I want everybody to come join the course. If that's what the event's about, it's the webinar to sell that course. What I would do, what I'm planning to do behind it is for those who don't buy the course, is to have the downsell opportunity to get them into the membership program, the membership. That's kind of the mentality. I usually have an upsell and downsell mentality. I'm just wondering, if you guys are doing the same sorts of thing. I saw your head shake, Zakia, and I don't know if it's because you do that or because it's a good idea or
I
what
think
your
it's a
thought
good
was.
idea. I don't do it, but I think it's a great idea.
Okay, thank you.
So for me, all roads lead to the Virtual Summonteers peer group, no matter what I'm doing. If I do have a course, a challenge, whatever, the next step is for you to come here. So I don't think I call it a downsell though, but that's what I tell people I want for them to do next.
Yeah, my catch-all. I haven't decided if I'm gonna probably do both. So as we're talking about different events, I'm gonna have an event that goes straight to joining the membership, but I also have ones that are gonna go straight to courses, and I have different course level packages. So I have one course that's ready right now that's actually pre-recorded if I wanted to do it that way, and that course is like a $497 or $397 dollar course. So it's a lower dollar value course. My signature course, when I do it, the founders edition is probably going to be under $1,000, but eventually that course is going to sell for $2,500, and because it's going to be live with me and everything else. So I'm just planning on more than one variation to see which one's going to work, and I'm just trying to figure my way through them. But again,
Have
all
you
roads are going to lead to the academy.
have you written out your profit pyramid yet?
Yeah,
Um,
my
I
sales
have,
ladder.
but I haven't really followed it. A sales letter? No, it's not a
No,
sales letter.
my sales ladder is what I call it,
Oh, it's
and
sales letter.
it's basically the value ladder principle is, and I could actually show it. It goes basically, what do I want? How am I going to get people to enter my space, going from free all the way up, and then it has drop off points as if they don't get to the next, if they don't climb to the next level, then they come down to the next level. And I actually, rather than calling it a ladder, if you saw my version of it, which I can share, it's really, I call it an escalator because it's an automated process that comes through emails as opposed to trying to reach back out to them in other methods. It's just, they start, if you enter it, you start here, you keep going up. And I learned that in the affiliate world of affiliate products, because as soon as you pay for the first affiliate product, next thing you know, they're going to ask you for the higher level, and then the higher level, and then the higher level. And that world, they go too many offers. But if you plan it well and you do it right and you do it over the course of a sequence of some sort, it won't be so bad and it doesn't overwhelm them. It just gives them an opportunity to see what you have, what they could use along the way.
Yeah. Zakia, did you have anything to add to that?
No.
How you structure it is very important.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, let's see.
I copied that last slide. I hope you don't mind, the building your monetization map. I think that's a good one, just for me as a reminder.
It will be in our community, the VS dot Talk Rochelle.
Erica, when I go there, it doesn't let me view the stuff.
No. Dang it. Okay, so what does it say?
When I go to request a link, hold on, I'll do it now.
It should say preview or download because it's in Ice Drive.
Oh, is our community not on Hey Summit?
Yep.
Okay, so I go there, and then it just sent me a link. You know, the sign-in thingamajigger.
Mm-hmm. The magic link.
And yeah, then when I click sign in now, it says, great, you've been verified. And then if I go to any of them, like watch replay, it says this content is locked.
No. For you too, Donna K? Okay. I will fix it. Later today I will fix it. Erica dropped the link again. Okay. Let's see if I have one up. I am doing that right now, Donna K. Let's see. Peer group. And I'm going to manage event. It says done with a check mark. Okay, there it goes. Okay. Content. I could probably just hit manage and view event. Yep. I will give you the stage. I love these stages, by the way. So these stages are what I'm using as my bundle. And I think these stages could probably use a lead magnet. Let's see. So paste. That is the entire stage. Did you guys get it? Yep. Let's see. What if I hit enter? Yeah, there it is. So that is the stage for all of October. And if you don't remember, October is our strategic vision and big picture planning. Let's see. And screen share, entire screen. And our next, oops, I got off where my slides were. Key takeaways: intention over hope. Monetization requires strategic planning and deliberate execution. Hope is not a revenue strategy. Data-driven decisions are. Multiple safety nets. Diversified revenue streams, protect against market shifts, and create resilience. Never depend on a single income source. Accountability through targets. Clear profit goals keep you focused on what matters. Target-driven decisions and enable continuous improvement. And the question is, what's one monetization idea you'll test in your next event? No? Anybody?
I think I've kind of said mine.
Maybe a mini course instead
okay.
of an entire course, or a community, maybe a smaller, low ticket, $19 something or another.
Okay.
You know, that's great. I actually have started making mini courses, and I hadn't articulated it like that. I didn't think about driving them to that. It was just going to be offers that were within what I'm doing. But I like that idea. Just opened a whole new world to me. No, if
I
you go to
think
if you were to go to my site right now and you were to go to the page where I'm kind of organizing my thoughts, it's actually a page where it says programs on my site, and you'll see that those are the courses I'm building out, or I'm intending to build out, or I've already built something out where I can just fully and do it. But I didn't think about using that as my target to bring people in because it's an affordable one, and maybe that's them to be able to start along your ability to make money from people, because they basically, the psychology is, once you can get them to spend money the first time, you can get them to spend money again, especially as you're building know, like, and trust. So my mindset is get their attention for free, get them in to pull out their wallet for a small bump, and then from there, once you have them at that point, just keep building on that as you build know, like, and trust with them until they get to their ceiling. And that's the mindset that I've learned in a nutshell.
okay. I was thinking I like paid challenges.
Paid
I,
challenges.
because I've seen a good many of those, and even though I complained about going to the free webinar that led up to the paid challenge, I didn't go to the paid challenge because I was disappointed in the webinar. But I like the idea of it, and I saw that so many people didn't know what I knew, and they were eager for Omar to tell them that information. So, and he did it through paid ads. He got the people onto the free webinar through paid ads. So, what was that? Did you guys have anything to add to that one? Your was one monetization idea that you'll test in your next event? Anything else to add to it? No? Well, okay then. I will push more buttons. Okay. Oh, that was the last one. So then that was the very last one. Would you guys think about Gamma? The slides were made on Gamma.
I like the slides.
Okay, hooray. Maybe subscription box. Ooh, a subscription box. Okay. Very nice, Donna Kay. I saw a subscription box for graphic work, but if you pay for the design, you can say that when you say you want it, it comes to you as printed material. And you can either say if you wanted it to be white labeled, your own product to resell it, or you can just put your name on it and have it as your own. I think it was like stationery. I thought it was kind of neat.
Yeah.
Can I share something? A slide that I was kind of talking about, just to kind
Go
of give
ahead.
you an idea. Okay.
You should have the ability to do so.
Yeah, let me just make sure I can. Oh yeah, there it is. This is what I was talking about. Oh, it's too small like that. Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, at least you can kind of get the idea of what I was talking about. Like this is what I call my sales escalator inside of my own products. Sales being the last name. So I start in with whatever it is going to be free. So in this particular case, the free is the webinar in this particular case, and automation is where I'm going to start. The mindset is I don't have to sell. The mindset is you can set up things along the way. So the automation will bring you to a tripwire, which is getting them to pull out their wallet. And mind you, this is set up to be clicked on one thing at a time to see. So it's overwhelming when you see it all together. But moving to the next thing, if you get them into the tripwire to spend $7, you can bump them in a different spot. And there's ways to do this along the pages of what you are when you're bringing them into the fold. But like if it's through a webinar sequence, there's ways to do this and then you upgrade them to the offers you want. And so this was just kind of giving you an idea of offer number one was like my course that's $397. Offer number two was my signature course, value at that particular point of $997. And this one here is essentially my membership academy. So this is just kind of a process that I built out 5 years ago, and it's actually coming to fruition right now, and it's about to launch. So that's where my sequence will kind of look like. And I just wanted to share to let you know that I had something visually that you can kind of understand it better.
Yep, I
Yeah.
understand. It makes me think of Thrive Cart.
Yep. Yep.
I
Yep.
have it, but I don't use it. But seeing how yours is laid out and make me think of it, and that I probably should be using it. Zacchaeus
That's
does love
one of
this
my mini
visual.
class. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Erica.
I was just reading what Zakia had wrote. She said, "Love this visual," and Donna Kay said, "Joe, the visual is great."
Thank you. That's going to be turned into that is part from one of my courses, but that's going to be turned into one of my mini courses. So
Are you
yeah.
using mini course generator or when
No,
you say mini course? Okay, got it.
I'm an old school teacher, so I actually am familiar with mini course generator. And since I don't know if you guys introduced me to that or how I got introduced to it, but I've only been looking at it for the last couple of weeks, and I've seen a lot of the tools, but it goes back to my prompting that's so much cleaner thanks to some lady on this call. I've been a prompting fool, and I've used up every free minute on every platform that I use, to the point that I was waiting for my paydays from two of my clients to be able to get back onto paid versions of certain platforms, because I've got it to a point where I'm taking my concept, having it develop the outline, the script, and my course. But the course is not going to be, I do not use AI and just put it out there like other people do. I take it and align it to what my signature process is and my pillars of whatever, my frameworks that I use. And then I'm also using, taking that to make my webinar to sell it, my ads to sell for the process, and my script for my podcast, so that I can do, and then also I think I tell it to help me lay out my videos. And so then I have a whole suite of things that I can keep going with, so that I don't have to keep going back and forth a million times. And then it'll prepare me. So when I'm ready for that topic, I've already got my podcast episode ready to go with it, or at least know what I'm going to do. I have my, my ads that I'm going to do to market it and everything else in alignment to going through the whole process. So that's what was born out of our days, Zakia, that as I fell into that deep rabbit hole, I found all them tunnels and started doing that. And that's what's come out of it.
Okay, that's excellent, excellent. Yeah, just those
Right.
small tweaks that make such a difference, and you
It-
can
it-
plug it everywhere. But you had 95%. I love that you're saying, and I met with that lady Z, but you had a really solid foundation. Most people don't talk to me with that. They are
mm.
blank. And you were all the way there.
Yeah, but I needed your soap to clean it up.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have to get off of this, but I appreciate, doggone it, Erica. You start my mornings on Friday with nothing but knowledge and learning, man. I walk away from here. I don't have a headache, but I got to stop, get away from the rest of my world, redigest what we talked about. Then I got to fall into the rabbit hole for each one of the things you brought up. And then I can function, which might be noon, my time. So I love this platform. Love being here with you guys and great minds. And you taught me how, like, I'm going to be building a master mindset into what I'm promoting. You taught me how a real one works, and I love it. And I just appreciate you all.
Hooray.
Everybody.
Well, bye, y'all.